Hey there, YouTubers. I know it's been a really long time, but haven't had much time. Had to go back to the States to do some schooling, and now I'm back in Okinawa. A lot has actually happened since the last time that I did a video. I didn't tell my sister when I planned on it. And so around July 4th, it was actually July 5th, my sister found my phone that had a guy's picture on it. She went through my text messages, and she apologized for it, but she was dropping me back off on base, and she asked me, about, hey, what's up with this picture and these text messages and whatnot. So it actually made it easier for me because she brought it up instead of me. And so told her, and her being Christian, she told me she saw it as a sin, but that she didn't believe that I was going to go to hell, being that if I did, everyone who had premarital sex would as well. And that if I wanted to change, she believed that I could. If not, if this is who I believed I was and I was comfortable with it, that she was okay with that. And if I ever needed to talk to her, that I could, which I have since then. And so it was. She took it very, very well, and at least one member of my family took it well. Then came the parents. I actually wasn't going to tell them until about a year from now when I saw them face to face, but I was at the airport getting ready to leave to come back to Okinawa. And I was texting with my dad, and he was like, hey, text your mom before you leave. So I was like, you know what, I'll call her instead. So I called her, and we started talking about different things, and then it kind of got a little silent. She's like, Juan, I need to ask you a question. And I was like, okay. So she asked if I knew that I had liked a group, Outserve, on Facebook. It's a group for LGBT people, not currently the transgender yet, but it's a group for them who serve in the military. And then she's like, and I also saw that you had some gay friends, on your Facebook. And did you know that, all of that? And I think she was expecting for me to say, oh no, someone must have got into my Facebook and done that, and I'll change it. But I was like, you know what, I'm done with lying. And so I told her, yes, I know that. And so it kind of got a little silent. I could tell that she wasn't expecting me to say that. And then she was like, started worrying about, she kind of got into the spiritual aspect, her being Christian, saying, because I saw it, and how sometimes the devil can put thoughts into your mind that, this is the reason why he hasn't had girlfriends, this is the reason why he doesn't talk about girls, all this different stuff. And I told her, that I was talking with my sister, and my sister said that she thought my mom already knew. And I said, well, mothers know best. And when I told that to my mom, about her gut feeling, it really got silent. And then I heard a little bit of sniffling, and I told her, I don't know what else to tell you. But so then she started talking about how you're not born this way and that you can change, and that this is just a spiritual attack from the devil, and demonic influences, and everything, and that this isn't the way that God intended us to be, and all the stereotypical things that you hear from Christians. And so basically whatever you think of as a Christian telling a homosexual, that's basically what my mom told me. And we talked for about an hour or so, and it got to the point to where she puked. She was so upset that she ended up puking. And I absolutely hate seeing my parents that upset, But at the same time, when I was, you know, when I first started having, thoughts about guys and not having thoughts about girls, and me thinking that I was weird and not normal and everything, the first thing that I went to was, what my parents believe. And it took me down a road of confusion. And I have been, for the first half of that 13 years or so, it was a bunch of confusion because of what my parents believe and trying to understand, why this is happening to me. And all of the, this is all influences by the devil and demons and all this different, it's a spiritual attack and all that different stuff. I already went through all that stuff. And I'm not going to go through that stuff again. I became comfortable with myself. And I don't want to spend another 13 years of starting from square one so that I can be comfortable with myself again. And I'm not going to pretend like I'm straight so that I can please my parents either. And it really upset my parents and or at my mom. I hadn't told my dad at the time. And so she wanted me to seek spiritual guidance. She asked me if I had talked to a rabbi, and I told her no. But the thing is I already know where my rabbi stands because he's already told me. And he's fine with homosexuality. And he's a conservative Jew just like I am. And we're fine with Jews being homosexuals. What my parents aren't fine with is that they're Christian, I'm their son, they're worried about my soul, which I can understand because they're my parents. They care for me, they love me, they want to make sure that, according to their belief, that I end up going to heaven. And I can understand that. But at the same time, I'm not going to start at square one again through all the confusion and through all the fighting and with myself and everything just to try and pretend that I'm straight and live a straight life. And down the road when I'm 40, 50 years old, divorce a wife that I got married to and, come out to my children and ruin their lives because, I was trying to live a lie. And I'm not going to do that to anybody else. So, she told me, she wasn't going to be able to hide her emotions from my dad, and I told her, you know what, I don't want you to keep any secrets. I don't want there to be a rift between the both of their relationships. So, if he asks, just to tell him. And she texted my sister. My sister told me when I called her to tell her about this whole ordeal that when she told my dad that he started crying and punching the wall. And I'm empathetic to the way that they feel, being that they're Christian and they're worried about it. They're worried about my soul and the afterlife and everything. And what the New Testament says and how they interpret the Tanakh, the Christian Old Testament. And I understand that all, but I don't agree, obviously. So, up next, I'm going to talk with my rabbi to see if I can get any advice on how to break it to them that, hey, look, this is who I am and I'm not going to change. It's probably going to be quite a few years before it kind of sinks in. And even when it does, they're still probably not going to be able to fully accept it. I know this was a long video. It's kind of making up for 2 videos meshed into one. And for the length of time that I haven't made a video. But I hope that you like it. And for anyone else who is coming out or in the process of coming out, whatnot, if you have Christian parents, be ready for them to get upset. I prepared myself for years. And when I finally told my mom, it was exactly as I thought it was going to be. Not a good thing, but exactly how I thought it was going to be. And it honestly didn't upset me. It obviously upset her a lot, but it didn't upset me because I prepared myself. In the case of my parents, if I had come out to them when I was in high school, they probably would have, not they probably would have, they would have taken me to their pastor and sought counseling and all this different stuff and everything. So in my case, I'm glad that I came out to them after I moved out of their house. But every case is different, and like I said, just prepare yourself. Mentally prepare yourself. If you know your parents well enough and you know how they're going to react, prepare yourself for that reaction so when it does happen, you're not overwhelmed and you're not shocked. So anyway, this video has been long enough, and I want to thank you for watching. Hopefully, I'll be able to be a little more consistent with my videos. But thank you, and see you later.